Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain and I am your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 65 of our trek, and today we are going to look at overcoming the obstacles on the trails of life. Many times, obstacles are self-imposed or caused by our self-limiting beliefs. We need to learn how to unchain the elephants in our lives. We are recording our podcast from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio today. This week we are preparing to have Paula's 3 siblings, their spouses, and a few nieces and nephews, along with 4 of our 5 children, in for a gathering on Friday night and Saturday. It will be a great time together, and I feel very fortunate that we can host the many family gatherings at the Big House. There's a lot to do for this week, both inside and out before Friday, so that should keep us plenty busy. As we break camp today and begin out on our trek, we are setting out on a different trail today. As we gaze up the trail, we see that it is very steep with many rocks, trees, and other obstructions in our way. Additionally, the trail is narrow and a solid rock face on one side and steep cliffs on the other. Now, as you look up the trail before you, you think to yourself, I have never hiked on such a dangerous trail before. I don't think I can do it. Your thoughts continue. After all, I have been told many times before that I am clumsy, and I'm never able to complete tasks. And you convince yourself that maybe it would be better if you stayed in camp today, or better yet, just to quit altogether. This is the type of thinking that limits so many people from achieving all that they could in their lives. If you are susceptible to this type of thinking, you will never be able to reach your full potential to become all that God has destined for you. In our analogy today, we want to look at the causes for these self-limiting beliefs, these learned helplessness, and how we can break free from the chains and the shackles that bind you. So let me share some interesting nuggets that should help us today. You may have heard some of this information before, but it's always good to review and apply it anew in our lives. This is the story of unchaining your elephant. Do you know what they do to keep the circus or the zoo elephants from running away? They tie a metal chain onto a collar around the mighty elephant's leg. And they tie it to a small wooden peg that is hammered in the ground. This 10-foot-tall, 11,000-pound hulk could easily snap the chain, uproot the wooden peg, and escape to freedom. But it does not do that. In fact, it does not even try. The world's most powerful animal, which is nimble enough to pick up a blade of grass with its trunk, can also uproot a tree as easily as we can pick up a toothpick, and yet they remain tied to the small peg with a flimsy chain. How come? It's because when the elephant was a baby, its trainers used exactly the same methods. A chain was tied around its leg, and to the other end of the chain was tied a metal stake that was driven firmly into the ground. The chain and peg were strong enough for the baby elephant. When it tried to break away, the metal chain would pull it back. Sometimes, tempted to see the world that they could see in a distance, the elephant would pull harder, but the chain would cut into the skin of the elephant's leg, making it bleed, creating a wound that would hurt the baby elephant even more. Soon the baby elephant realized it was futile to try to escape, so it stopped trying. And now when the big circus elephant is tied by a chain around its leg, it remembers the pain that it felt as a baby, and it does not even try to break away. Even though it's only tied with a chain and a little wooden peg, the elephant stands still. It remembers its limitations and knows that it can only move as much as the chain will allow. It really doesn't matter that the metal stake has been replaced by a wooden peg. It doesn't matter that the 250-pound baby is now an 11,000-pound powerhouse. However, the elephant's previous beliefs still prevail. If you think about it, we are a lot like this circus elephant. We all have incredible power inside us. We have it in us to take on the world, to accomplish just about anything that we would desire. The unfortunate circumstance is that we also have our own chain and pegs, our self-limiting beliefs that hold us back. Sometimes it's a childhood experience or an early failure. Sometimes it's something that we were told when we were younger. That becomes our chain and peg, holding us back from doing what we are capable of, stopping us from achieving what was well within our powers. It's time then to ask the question, what's holding you back? What is your chain and wooden peg? When we are young, many of us grow up with regular servings of don't do that, or you can't do that, or you're no good, you're a numbskull. So the chain around our mind becomes stronger, and we stop ourselves from aiming quite as high. We say, I can't do that because... and you fill in your favorite excuse. Over time, these beliefs about our limitations become stronger and stronger. These self-limiting beliefs become the chains that stop us from trying. Circumstances change. Metal poles get replaced by wooden pegs, but we don't even recognize that. We stop trying. We give up without even trying. And in our lives, we often play the role of an elephant trainer also. as parents, teachers, colleagues, or friends. When that happens, remember to handle your baby elephants with care. Don't be overly critical. Don't belittle them. Don't chain them to the peg. I think partly due to my genetic makeup, but also I certainly attribute it to my upbringing, I don't suffer as much from the elephant training syndrome myself. Although I am short at only 5 foot 4 inches tall on a good day, in my mind's eye, I see myself as someone who's 6 foot or taller. I feel my parents did a pretty good job at helping me to be realistic, though. I had dreams of playing the quarterback on a high school football team, which is not real feasible for somebody my size and with small hands. So my parents guided me toward wrestling instead, where I could effectively compete at the 105-pound weight class. We all need to visualize what we can be, not what we are today. Keep in mind, we all have the strength of an elephant. Don't let the mere chain and peg of the past hold you back. It is a good idea to recognize what's holding you back and then break those shackles of your self-limiting beliefs. It is sad when we allow our achievements in life to be determined not by our strengths and our powers, but our own self-limiting beliefs. Within my faith walk, I also draw on the belief that God has made me special and has given me talents and abilities that only I can use. And I take this from Philippians 4:13, which says, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." Although this next verse is in reference to the salvation experience, the principle still applies in Matthew 19:26. Jesus looked at them intently and said, "Humanly speaking, it is impossible, but with God, everything is possible." It's time then to break free, to snap your chain, to smash that peg, to break your self-limiting belief. Set yourself free today. Don't let the past dictate who you are, but let it become part of who you become. Well, that'll finish our podcast for today. If you've missed any of the previous podcasts, please check out Wisdom Trek at iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or at wisdom-trek.com. Tomorrow we will expand on this topic of self-limiting beliefs and look at the subject on how to train fleas. So please join us at our camp tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, these little nuggets that we consume, I encourage you to take time to invest in yourself. First, invest with your time in improving Wisdom Trek by leaving your name, email address, and comment on our website so that we can provide you with wisdom and insights that best fit your needs. Second, invest in yourself by listening to your 7 minutes of wisdom through Wisdom Trek each day, and the best way to do this is to subscribe to iTunes or Stitcher. And third, invest in the lives of others by sharing with your family and friends, in person or online, to join us in our journey at Wisdom Trek. And if you haven't done so already, leave us a rating at iTunes so that we will gain exposure to others that might want to join us. The journal for today's podcast can be found at wisdom-trek.com, where we also have pictures, tweetable quotes, wisdom nuggets, and free resources. And I thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most of all, your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.